10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, and welcome. This is EM Publishing's monthly update. I'm Jessica, the business manager at EM Publishing, and I'm here to tell you all about the stuff that we got going on at the moment, stuff we're planning for the future, and for fulfillment for any projects you might be waiting to get your books on. As it's just me, I put on some background music for the live stream, and I have no idea if it's too loud or too quiet. So if you're listening, if you could let me know in the comments if it is too loud, too quiet, or just about right, because it's my first time using background music on the stream. So let me know. But anyway, throughout this stream, I'll be chatting about all things EM Publishing. I got a list of things to go through. Feel free to jump in and ask any questions in the comments if you have one. One of the main things I'm going to be talking about, excitingly, is the Vault of Splintered Souls, which is live now on Kickstarter and will be live for the next 2 weeks. So it's ending November 30th. So if you want to check that out whilst we're talking in the comments, we just put the link in the comments there. So there's a Kickstarter link in the comments. So if you want to go through and have a look whilst I'm talking about it, so you know what I'm talking about, please do feel free. But without any further ado, I'll just talk you through what we're doing at EM Publishing. If it's your first time here and you don't know who we are, we're a tabletop RPG publisher, and we also run the news site for tabletop RPGs, enworld.org. If you want to know about the shows we do three weekly podcasts each week, and we often sponsor actual plays and do actual play shows as well. If you go to emworld.live, you can see the full schedule of stuff we're doing, and we also have 2 sponsored shows for Level Up Advanced 5th edition at the moment. We've got Podcast Party, and we have Tales of Initiative, who are doing some excellent live streams for Level Up Advanced edition, and you can check the dates on those on emworld.live. But anyway, I'm going to move us on and talk about what we have been up to. So if you are a supporter of EM Publishing, good morning, Russ. Thank you for joining. I was just saying, John, if this is the first time we use background music on the stream, so if you can hear the background music or not hear the background music, if it's too much, too little, do let me know, because I can't gauge if it's loud enough or not, because it's just the music playing and me here on my own. But yeah. If you're a supporter of EM Publishing, thank you very much. You may be familiar that earlier this year we did the What's Old is New starter set, which I'm so excited for. We've been chatting to people to get that into distribution in the US and the UK after we've done the Kickstarter fulfillment. So we're looking to fulfill that to our Kickstarter backers first, of course, as always, because they made it happen, made the print run happen. And the exciting news about that is that the box sets even are now on boats, and they're on their way to the US and to the UK. So we finished manufacturing on time. We've sent them they're off on their way. Going by boat does take quite a long time. It's between like 30 and 40 days, so it's going to be a little bit of a process. So this does still mean we're looking to fulfill in January time, but this puts us on schedule to have all the box sets arrive in December to the various warehouses, and that gives our warehouses time to pick, pack, organize, and get them ready for fulfillment in January. And also, everyone at the warehouses has some time off over the holidays, because in the UK and the US we have seasonal holidays and things there, so people have time off. But the good news is that we are all on track for January fulfillment. If you missed that, they'll be going to retail March in 2024 next year. And like I said, we've been speaking to some distributors to get them at your friendly local gaming stores. And of course, you can also pick them up directly from us at empublishingrpg.com. And we also, excitingly, the website, we are just waiting to approve. We have a brand new website coming out with a new layout. We've added loads more search filters on it. So if you're looking through our 5e content, it's easier to find exactly what you're looking for. So if you're looking for an adventure of a specific level, you'll be able to say, I want, an adventure for characters of level 6. Or if you want a monster or an NPC of a specific CR level, you'll be able to select the CR level and it'll filter it all for you. So we've got a whole load of stuff to just make our website a little bit more user friendly, because we have so much content on there, especially for What's Old is New and for 5e. So we want to make that easier for you to use. So that will be coming out soon as well. And as mentioned, as the image here shows, What's Old is New Star set will be being filled to Kickstarter backers in January. If you are a Kickstarter backer, if you go to the Kickstarter page, there's a bit more detail in a post there updating you with timelines and things going on. But the good news is that's all running on time. And you know what else is also running on time? The Level Up Advanced 5th Edition Starter Box Set. So we finished last month the Kickstarter campaign for that, which is very exciting. So it's funded. We sent out the PDF, like a draft early access to everybody, like the day the Kickstarter campaign ended, which is great. And today I just sent an update because we were still doing like proofreading and there was one more map that needed to be added in there. But we updated Drive-Thru RPG literally today. So if you're a Kickstarter backer and you have the digital box set of this, if you go to your Drive-Thru RPG library, you'll see the update on there. You'll see the files updated for today. So you can check that out and download the new files. If you have any issues with that, send me a message. If you go to the Kickstarter page, I've done an update just today, so you can comment on that and let me know. We'll get that to you. The physical box sets, we're speaking to the manufacturer right now as we speak, so we're getting them all laid out, and the plan is to have those physically with backers in March 2024. So there's a little bit of a delay because with the holidays there's delay in timing, because in the end of December things generally slow down for us in the UK, and our manufacturer of these box sets are based over in China, and in January they have their annual holidays there as well. So we're trying to make sure the timeline includes the fact that during the manufacturing production there's going to be some gaps in time because people are celebrating holidays, because holidays things are important. But it will be March 2024 we're looking for these to go out. If you missed the Kickstarter campaign and you're just hearing about this, the backer kit will be going live this week. So I've just sent out literally today the smoke test to backers, and if you've not used backer kit and you're not publishing and you're like, what does that mean? Pretty much it just means I send the surveys out to a small number of people just to make sure there's nothing I've done wrong, because backer kit is quite technical because it links up with Kickstarter and it links up with payments, and it's got all this stuff on there to add add-ons, loads of functionality, which is really great. But the downside of this is that it means it can go wrong with technology. So I've just sent it out to a small number of backers. So if you are a backer and you haven't received your email from Backer Kit yet asking for your survey options, please don't panic. That will be sent to you by this Sunday, the 19th of November. And if you missed out on this Kickstarter and you are wanting to pick up Level Up Advanced 5th Edition Starter Box Set, you'll be able to do so next week. So you can check that out on there. If you have any questions about how to do any of that, all our social medias you can see directly above me is at empublishingrpg.com. And we'll post stuff on there and links to our website and our Kickstarter page, so you can find the links on there. But that'll be going up very soon, so if you've missed out, please don't worry, that will be there for you. So that's all the box sets and the fulfillment of things that are kind of going on. So I hear you ask, but what about the Vault of Splintered Souls, Jess? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm so glad that you asked. So this is the Kickstarter campaign we're running right now. So it's live on Kickstarter and it's running till the 30th of November. And like all of our Kickstarters, we're doing the thing where the PDF is made. It's been written for a while because this is actually compiled from our Insider magazine, and it was made to celebrate the 500th issue of Insider magazine, which our patrons support. So if you're a patron of Insider magazine, and you can find out more information via the link I just put in there, en5ider.com. You'll already have this if you're a patron backer, so you'll know what I'm talking about. But we're now making it available for people to purchase who are not patron backers. So you can pick up the digital version of it, or you can pick up a hardcover book as well. If you're a patron backer, you get a discounted rate to get a hardcover book, just to say thank you for supporting us and everything like that. And one thing we're doing for everybody who picks up a physical book, which is a really cool idea, and I'm glad we've done it, is we've got this free poster map of the vault. And now I guess you're wondering what is this? So the Vault of Splintered Souls is a Megadungeon. When I say Megadungeon, it is 14 levels, and it is designed for 6th to 10th levels. So your adventurers, or if you're playing or as a GM, would go at level 6, and they'll be level 10 by the time that they leave the dungeon. So it's a really nice point to go into a campaign to get people leveled up and used to their new features and things. This is designed for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, so 05E, but we have some Level Up Advanced 5th edition players that obviously, because it's backward compatible, you can also use it if you're playing Level Up Advanced 5th edition as well, so it's very easy to port over. But yeah, so it's a 14 lethal floors, and what I really like about this is it's a real mix of, like, obviously there's combat in it because there's monsters in there, because people are going to want their monsters, but there's also some kind of combat and puzzles as well, and there's a bit of like kind of social intrigue of things going on. And I really like the puzzles in it. And I think it's nice to have kind of a blend of stuff in a dungeon, so it's not just like, oh, running into this room and killing this monster, because that gets a little bit less interesting. And also, like, very much like a classic Megadungeon, all the different floors have different themes and different stuff going on, so it gives it real variety. And and it's a really, like I say, it's leveling you up 4 levels, and we're really excited and proud of it. So everybody that backs for a physical book gets this free poster map. So we have a poster that you can have for free. The only thing is you need to pay for the shipping of it. If you're in the US, that's just $2, so that's fine. Outside the US, it is quite expensive, so we do for the shipping. So we do have an option where you can choose not to have the poster map sent to you, so you don't have to pay for any of the shipping if you don't want it. But it's there for free if you do, and all the prices are there on the Kickstarter page. And as I say, it is live right now. And here's a close-up of the poster map with all the 14 different floors on there. If you're at all interested and want to have a look in more depth and see what all the different floors are, that's all on the Kickstarter campaign page, which is live right now. So you can go there and check it out and see if it's something you fancy. And we have really quick fulfillment turnarounds at EM Publishing. This will be a print-on-demand book, so that means you will get this very, very quickly. So we're planning on doing the PDF, send it to you the same day the Kickstarter ends. So you'll have this in December, for sure. Depending on your time zone, it will be 30th of November you get it, actually. But we're saying definitely everyone will have it by December. And book fulfillment will be in January, in the new year. So we'll send your surveys in December so you can tell us your address, and in the new year we'll send you the books and your poster maps. So it's going to be really quick, so there's no waiting around for years like you do some Kickstarter campaigns. This is instant gratification for your campaign there. So what's in the Vault of Splintered Souls in terms of content and stuff beyond the 14 lethal levels, beyond all the puzzles and things like that? So there's 15 new magic items that she's created in there. So there's lots of different things that you have in there. There's some interesting things like sour berries, the sun seeds. We have a thorn flute. There's some weapons and things in there. But there's some really cool and quirky stuff in the dungeon that your players can find, because exploration and exploring the dungeon, we wanted to, the vault dungeon, however you want to call it, we wanted that to be rewarded with some items and things. So exploration, like I say, you're not just running around killing things and doing combat, because whilst that is fun, for balance you need some other bits and pieces. Speaking of running around and killing things, there are 21 monsters in there. I really like, it's only CR0, so it's very small. There's a blood knit. And when we were first writing it, I saw that and I thought it was a typo, and I thought it was a blood knight, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And they're like, no, a knit, as in like the tiny thing. I was like, oh, okay. So there's some really fun, interesting stuff in there, but obviously there is beyond CR0, there's also things that go up to CR15 we've got there. So we've got Titan's Gate gladiators and things like that. So there's a big range of different things in there that's going on. So plenty of new monsters. And again, if you check out the Kickstarter page if you're wanting a bit more information and detail on those. I skipped a bit far forward. What I'm also going to show you, actually, is because the thing I really like about this campaign is the puzzles in it, and there's some really nice handouts in this which I'm going to show you as an example. So this is the PDF. I have my copy here. It's done, it's made. If you want yours in 2 weeks, the Kickstarter's right there. If you're a patron of Insider, you already have this, so you know what I'm talking about. But it's got some really cool handouts in it. So you can see, like, there's this puzzle here. So you can hand this out and give this to your players to solve. So if your players are really into kind of puzzles and things, that's really good. As individual puzzles, you could put this not just in the adventure if you wanted. A lot of them you could just pick out and put into kind of any situation with the items. But yeah, so there's really cool stuff for people to kind of find and resolve and do. But yeah, so loads of really interesting puzzles and things like that, because I really think it's interesting when a dungeon isn't just, like I said, just combat. It has a mixture of different things to do in there, and that's very much what this dungeon has. So I hope you really like it and want to check it out. If anyone in the comments has any questions, please do let me know. I have the whole book here in front of me. Actually, I'm just going to show you this again, because look how cool this dude is. This CR15 Titan's Gate Gladiator. That's very cool. And then we have other monsters here, just a classic ogre as well. And then we have a super mutant rust monster as well, of course. So just normal common stuff like that you'd see kind of running around as well. And because it's the size of the dungeon, obviously we've got the poster map that I showed you that looks like this on screen here, but of course all the levels within the book, you don't just have that big one. We have they have their all own little stages here. We're going to have a VTT package of the maps that you can put into any virtual tabletop of your choice, and the tokens for the creatures that I'm talking about here. So as well as the maps there, you'll get, little tokens and things of all the different various monsters and things going on here. And one thing I really like about the Vault of Splintered Souls, like I say, it's 14 levels, but there are things called soul shards in the dungeon. And the way that's used, and one of the mechanics, is you have this soul sheet. Let me show you here. Which your players will collect as they go through the dungeons, and what they collect and get as a result will mean that the 14th level will result in what's in the 14th level of the dungeon. And so level 14 will be different for different players. So you can have different parties that will go explore through the vault, and they will have different experiences and different endings in it for what's there, because what's there is based on how they explore the different levels. And there's just a whole bunch of really cool stuff in here, and I hope you folks really like it. A lot of hard work went into this, loads of maps, and like I say, a free poster map to everyone that backs as a physical backer. So I hope you're interested, I hope you like it, and if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat here. Happy to answer any questions you have. As I mentioned several times, it is live on Kickstarter right now, and it's there until the 30th of November. So let us know if you have any questions. But that's the Vault of Splintered Soul. So yeah, I think we have a question coming through there. Not a question, just a thumbs up. Good, we like that. Thank you. But moving forward, so that's kind of what we're doing now. And I've talked a little bit already about fulfillment and where we are with that. Summary, everything's on time if you just joined us. So the box sets for What's Old is New and for Level Up Advanced 5th edition are on time and coming through there. And if you want specific updates about your order, if you go to the Kickstarter page, you can see the updates that I did just today. So you can check that out and see what's going on. But looking forward to what we're doing next year. So we're already planning stuff. Right now, behind the scenes, I am creating the Kickstarter page for our first Kickstarter campaign of 2024. In January, we're planning on doing the Gate Pass Gazette 2023 annual. So the Gate Pass Gazette, if you are unaware, is the monthly magazine for Level Up Advanced 5th edition. And if you don't know what Level Up Advanced 5th edition is, go to the website levelup5e.com and you'll find out more. But yeah, so you can get the Gate Pass Gazette as a patron backer, and you get monthly content coming through for Level Up Advanced 5th edition. And obviously they're monthly magazines you can get in digital format or as print. And what we do at the end of each year, we did this in 2023. We did the collection and put it into one hardcover book, so you can purchase the book or just have the digital version in one place, and we made that available. And we're doing the same this year because people seem really happy and wanted to have that, so we're planning on doing that for as long as the magazine exists, to do a yearly annual book that you can have and collect and looks nice on your shelves. One of the things was in January of 2023, you all might remember this whole thing with the OGL crisis, as I'll call it, was happening. Yeah, so we had already planned and had launched our Kickstarter for the Gate Pass Gazette 2022 annual when that was going on. So we decided that was going to be a print-on-demand product because we were really uncertain about what was going to happen with the OGL. And we're like, do you know what? People have paid for this and we're worried about the whole situation. We're just going to print it, get it made, and get it sent out quickly. So nothing can happen with that. Luckily, nothing happened. Everything is fine. Everything's fine. But that does mean the 2022 annual isn't available as an offset print run book like all the Level Up Advanced 5th edition books are. We are planning for the 2023 annual, and one coming up in January, to be an offset print run book, so the same quality that you'd expect of any of our other Level Up books. It'll be the same printers, but what we are doing as a stretch goal is reprinting the 2022 annuals, the one from previous year, as an offset print run, and we'll do that if we can get at least 300 people wanting that as an add-on. So if at least 300 people want that and order that, we'll also upgrade everyone who backs it from a print on demand to a offset print run version. So if you wanted a pretty offset print run to go on your shelf with all your other pretty Level Up books, you'll have the chance here. The book is currently in layout. Obviously right now we're working on the final issue of the December's Gate Pass Gazette magazine, and behind the scenes we're putting them all together in one book, and as always with EM Publishing Kickstarters, the day the Kickstarter ends is the day you'll get the PDF, so you can have it straight away for that immediate satisfaction. And obviously a few months later for the offset print run, because we need time to print it and ask where you live and print it, get it shipped and send it to you, and all those other fun, exciting things that I do. And that's the Gate Pass Gazette. Also, we have more level up Advanced 5th Edition stuff coming next year. So right now we're working on the Planestrider's Journal, which, as you can see, is very spidery, interplanetary, lots of different stuff going on. So this is really going to expand the settings in the world for you there. And that'll be coming out in the first quarter of 2024. We're going to start sneaking out some information coming out soon about that to give you a bit more details there. But as you can see from some of the artwork, hopefully you get some of the vibes about the planes and how we do travel in that world there. So that's kind of our plan to come out there. Also, we've been mentioning this for a while, and a lot of people are excited for it, and we're excited for it too, is the Void Runners Codex, which will be coming out in the second quarter of 2024. So this has been in editing for most of this year. We've been editing, we've been doing more play tests, we've been trying to make sure we get this right. So this is a space science fiction setting for Level Up Advanced 5th Edition. So it doesn't have magic in it, but it does have like psionics in, so the idea of using telekinesis and other kind of like more sci-fi themed powers. Of course, it's Level Up Advanced 5th Edition, so you can use it with your core books and incorporate magic and genre mash if you want to. We're not going to stop you. No one's going to come to your house and tell you off. I'm not your mum. But it will be a sci-fi setting kind of book there with all that information. So it's going to have new character origins, so heritages, culture, class, those sorts of things. It's going to have new equipment and items for sci-fi. It's going to have in terms of like transport, obviously ships, and we're looking at starship combat as well and how to make that interesting and fun. But yeah, and it's all in Level Up Advanced 5th Edition, and we're really excited for this. We've been working on this for years. This has been years in the making, and we're really excited about it, and we hope you'll be as well. And we've just been editing it at the moment and really taking our time to make sure it's done properly and done the way you would want it to be. So we really hope that you enjoy it, and the artwork's very cool as well. But yeah, Void Runners Codex coming out next year. And also next year, something I've specifically been working on is Split the Horde, which is our first board game, which I'm really thrilled to be having, because my background, as you can see the stack of board games here and around me, my background is in board games. So I started off working in the games industry because I opened a board game cafe, and then I've worked in board game manufacturing, and I've worked for other board game publishers, like other UK ones like Alley Cat Games you might have heard of. So I'm really excited about Split the Horde coming out. So this is our first kind of card game, because we're starting small with it. So it is a quick, fun. It takes around half an hour to play. Split the Horde is, you are adventurers, you've killed the dragon and done whatever, and now you're negotiating, stealing, tricking your way to split all the treasure between you as different party members. You will have a character class which you'll recognize from Level Up Advanced 5th Edition, like maybe you'll be the rogue, or you'll be the druid or the marshal or whatever. And and you're sitting there trying to quick card game, trying to collect certain sets for what your secret goal is and what the public goals are. And it's just a really fun game, really well designed. It's been designed by Mark Kenobi, who is a writer for Level Up Advanced 5th Edition and for Insider. So you might have seen him write on the Gate Pass Gazette or Insider. And they're also a board game designer. So it was a really nice blend of somebody that understands board game mechanics and also somebody that understands Level Up Advanced 5th Edition, the setting, and understands tabletop RPGs. So whilst this is a board game, we want it to fit in the kind of tabletop RPG world and be something fun for people to enjoy. And I'm really excited to get that out there. If you were at the UK Games Expo last year, you will have had a chance to play because we were demoing it there. We're going to be back at UK Games Expo demoing it again this year. We're also going to be going to a few other events. So we're going to be going to Dragon Meet next month in the UK, and we're also going to be going to AirCon next year as well. So if you wanted to give it a play, let us know there. And next year I'll also be looking to get this out on virtual tabletop board game platforms, like Tabletopia and things like that, so people can give it a play and try it out and see what you think. But that'll be coming to Kickstarter the end of next year, so the third quarter of 2024. But we'll be trying to tease out some stuff in advance and maybe get some print and play stuff so people can try it out and things like that earlier in the year. That's what's coming later in the year as well. And also, a lot of people I know are excited for this, is the Monstrous Menagerie 2. So the Monstrous Menagerie did really well. We had loads of really great reviews. We sold out our print run a lot earlier than we thought we did, and we had to do new reprints, so it was out of stock for a little while, but it's back in stock now, so you can pick it up on our website, and it's available on Amazon as well, in the US and the UK. So you can, that'll be, the second one will be coming out, so more of what you know and love there. Paul Hughes is leading up that project, who wrote the original one, so if you liked the original Monstrous Menagerie, this is going to be more of the same, more of what you want or what you expect from us. And there's some really cool stuff coming, and they're due to hand in the final manuscript early next year. So I haven't seen the final product, but I've seen some bits and pieces, and I'm very excited for it. I was asked at one point if I wanted to design a goose for it, but I thought it was just too silly. Yes, anyone that listens to the podcast knows I have a weird, I believe geese are very dangerous and they should be respected as such, but I don't believe there's going to be a goose in the Monstrous Menagerie 2, because I just thought it was a bit too silly. But I don't know, maybe we'll have an extra freebie for it or something. Anyways, that's kind of things that we got coming out on our release schedule for next year, so that's what's upcoming, and that's what we're working on at the moment. We're also deciding at the moment what we're going to start working on in 2024, because whilst we're releasing and publishing those things, in the behind the scenes, we're going to be working on new stuff for our 3 game lines, which of course is Level Up Advanced 5th edition, What's Older's new role-playing system, and of course the Awfully Cheerful engine. And also you'll see that cool spacey thing on there, because right now Russ is working on development for another board game we're looking on, which is a space-themed one called Space Fight at the moment. Which is a nice goose pun I noticed, so I'm just going to put that on the screen, a gander at the appendix monsters. Amazing, love that, we love to see that. But yeah, no, so we're deciding what we're going to be working on in 2024 at the moment. We have a whole load of pictures and ideas coming in, so we're just deciding which ones we're going to start writing and working on, so that when it comes to 2025 we have a whole bunch of new stuff to show you, because that's what we do, we keep making games. And as long as people want them, we'll keep making them. So thanks for all your support with what we do. So I'm coming near to the top of the time here of the half hour that I've been on updating you. I hope you feel like that's a good summary of what we're up to, and if you've had a chance to ask any questions that you've had. So every month we'll be doing our monthly live stream. The next monthly live stream, the last one of the year, will be December the 14th on a Thursday. Same time, same place, wherever you are now. But every week we're doing 3 new TTRPG shows for you to listen to. So every Monday I do Not D&D, which is the show where we talk about tabletop RPGs that are not Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, we love Dungeons and Dragons, but yes, and there's other stuff. So every Monday I interview a new creator and talk about their game, pretty much. So this month in November we're doing kind of a science meets fiction theme. So I'm looking at games that are kind of sci-fi but also blend a different element in, so something a bit different from just like Star Trek or Traveller or something like that, which may be the more traditional RPGs you think of when you think of science fiction. For example, this Monday just gone, we had Orbital Blues Afterburn, which is a game about sad space cowboys. So if you're into cowboy bebop or things like that, it's very much inspired by that, or maybe Firefly. So that kind of sci-fi that's kind of more like low-tech, analog kind of technology style thing. So that's kind of what we did as an example of that. Next week we're looking at the Electrum Archive, which it blends science fiction and fantasy in a really nice way. So if you're free Monday to come and listen to that on the podcast or watch the live stream, that would be a really great episode. And at the end of the month as well, we have Steel and Scale as well, which funded on Kickstarter very recently, and it's kind of steampunks, motor cars and things, but also dragons. So it's like the age of industry and also dragons is how I'll summarize it. But yeah, if you want to learn more about those games, listen to the podcast, Not D&D, whatever podcast platform of your choice. But wherever you're watching this, we also post every Monday at 10 p.m. GMT, which is 5 p.m. Eastern time. We broadcast the recording of it, so you can watch and join in and ask questions if you would like. Also, every Friday I do the podcast This Week in Tabletop RPG, and it's also posted wherever you're watching this at midday Eastern time. And basically that's me just summarizing what's kind of happened this week in Tabletop RPG, and I do it in under 3 minutes. usually I try and get it in 2 minutes. So it's just a quick, hey, this was released, this happened. Then so it's a quick little bite of information, so you can just quickly get an overview of what's going on. And if something interests you, you can, go to the news site and read more about it, or do a bit more research into it. So I do that every Friday. And then on Friday, on Saturdays gets released Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG talk, where I'm one of the co-hosts, also Morris and PJ Coffee. We talk about the week's news in a bit more detail. So usually we waffle on for about an hour and a half, and then we have a topic of the week. So we talk about a TTRPG kind of topic, or we have someone on to interview and talk about something there. But yes, that's the 3 things we do all the time. And of course, we're doing the news every day at emworld.org. So if you want to keep up with what we're doing, there's all these ways to stay in touch with us. And with that, I think I'm gonna say farewell. Thank you very much for coming along and watching, and thank you for supporting us as an indie tabletop RPG company. We do really appreciate it. We wouldn't be able to do it without you folks. But yeah, and if you're at all interested in the Vault of Splintered Souls, it's now live on Kickstarter. I'd love it if you could go check it out, show it a bit of love, or share it on there. And a free postage map to anyone that buys a book. So hopefully that's enough of an incentive for you. And with that, that's me done for this month. I will be back next month on December 14th. But between now and then, if you have any questions, you can message me on EM Publishing RPG on any of our socials, or get in touch via our website emworld.live, where there's a contact page, or emworld.org, or Discord, or any places online that you can find us. You can come and ask me there, and I'll do my best to help you out. That's all for this week. Thanks very much. Bye.